Hello everybody and welcome to episode 35 of the Train Sim News Show, the 4th Q&A video. I want to apologise in advance for the low quality video you are currently seeing and will be seeing throughout the video, but let's go on to the questions, which I will do with text-to-speech.
What is your view on the first MTR takeover of Southwest trains and them ditching of most of the suburban units?
This is one of those awkward questions where I can't answer it, not because I don't have an answer, but because, well, I work for SWR, and they have rules about what you can and what you can't say specifically about them. At least, on social media. I know YouTube isn't exactly social media, but it's the next closest thing to it, and I'm gonna play it safe and say, sorry, I can't answer this question.
What's your favourite bus? I like the B70L and Trident 2s.
Well, if you're talking bus overall, Citaro Master Race. But I do have a few honourable mentions or close candidates, or to put it like that. The first one is basically any bus with an Allison gearbox. And if you don't know what an Allison sounds like, conveniently enough, last year I managed to ride on one and record one. It was just floating around on the H25 and I happened to be free at the time. So here's what an Allison sounds like if you haven't heard of it.
H25 to Butts Farm.
Buses that sounded like that were essentially the buses of my childhood. Went on them all the time because we didn't have a car. How else would we get from A to B? The second bus is these VDLs that you see in the Netherlands. The ones I'm showing on the screen right now. Again, they're pretty much everywhere across Holland, but they were so nice to ride on. And I might have a clip of that, if not... sorry. But there was also another candidate of this bus that I went on the Netherlands as well. I forgot what the name of the bus was, but in this specific case, it was going around the outskirts of Maastricht, and it was such a nice bus to ride on, but yeah, enough of my bus nuttiness. Oh, no, wait. How the heck have I recorded that entire segment without mentioning the Optare Solo or the Optare XL? Oh, I love those buses. Sorry.
Are you a fan of motorsport?
I'm afraid not. My interest in motorsport died along with my PS2 and copy of Gran Turismo 4. Sorry.
Have you ever played a Forza game?
Well, as a matter of fact, yes I have, once. Specifically Forza 4, but I couldn't really get into the controls that easily. That's why I stopped playing it. That and the disc broke.
How much longer do you plan to be on YouTube?
I don't know, actually. I'll keep using YouTube until they give me a reason not to, or nobody else uses YouTube anymore, or there's another video service which is better than YouTube, I don't know.
Do you watch YouTube poops? If so, who is your favourite YouTube pooper of all time?
Okay, I don't have a favourite YouTube pooper anymore, nor do I watch that many YouTube poops nowadays. However, I do have a two YouTube poops that I would say are my favourite YouTube poops of all time. And I know some of you are going to look at me and go, why would you pick these two? But my two favourite YouTube poops of all time are Ouija Towers and Toys Gone Wild. Yes, it's nothing special and you can see the jokes coming from a mile away, but at the end of the day, these two videos introduced me to YouTube poops. And you know what? I'm not going to throw sticks and stones at them if they at least introduce me to something that at least shaped the later years of my childhood. Plus, there are some bits of it that I just find genuinely funny. I mean, how could you not like the WTF Boom?
What's your favourite childhood TV show?
Pretty much anything made by Oliver Postgate. Especially Ivor the Engine and Bagpuss. Those were the days. Nowadays, kids have to deal with, Paw Patrol. Mind you, I've got no room to complain about that. I've never watched Paw Patrol. Have you watched Paw Patrol? Can't talk! Moving on.
Did you see The Fate of the Furious? Do you plan to see Cars 3?
Nope and nope. That was an easy question to answer. If only all the questions were that easy.
Have you seen the Grand Tour with the old Top Gear boys?
Ah, this is a good question to answer. I watched both Season 1 and Season 2 of the Grand Tour once the hype train died down. I marathoned them both. And I'll say this right now, Season 1 is not worth your time. Not with the celebrity brain, I can't remember what it was called. You know what I'm talking about, that stupid segment where instead of having a celebrity or a guest to be interviewed, they just have them in the background and then have them blown up with special effects or something. Yeah, I'm kind of glad they scrapped that for Season 2. Because, you know what, I actually enjoyed the interviews they had originally on Top Gear. Plus, a lot of people didn't even like the respawning episode. I didn't find it as annoying, but I can at least perfectly understand why people wouldn't find that enjoyable, at least for Top Gear. I also saw people complaining about the Mozambique special, but I at least found that much more entertaining than the entirety of the Grand Tour Season 1, and that's saying something. Season 2 was a lot better, just in general, though I can't think of all the specific reasons, so I'm at least sorry about that. I can at least recommend somebody to watch Season 2 of the Grand Tour, but not Season 1. Not to mention, around the corner, at least from when I'm recording this, Season 3 is coming soon. Who's excited? Yay!
What was the best and worst year of your life?
Well, I don't know. I'm still alive and I'm not middle-aged.
Have you ever tried Monster Energy drink?
Oh, good grief, no! Back when I was in year 8, I used to drink a bit of Mountain Dew, and the only energy drink that I occasionally drink is Lucozade Orange, I guess, but not Monster Energy drink. Oh, I'd rather have one of those energy drinks that you'd, you know, the 35 pence Euro shopper one you see in those off-licenses, like the one you'd see near a school. Yeah, those ones.
Have you ever wanted to ride on the Shinkansen?
No, not really. And the reason is, in order to ride on the bullet train, I have to go to Japan. And I will be honest here and say that Japan's writing and language really confuses me. I'm so sorry. I don't want to seem like I'm being racist or anything. There are some people who would get offended by me saying that, but nah, I just find it too confusing for me to understand effectively, so sorry.
What do you think is the best DLC that ETG has put out?
The BR407 Volaro D technically counts. I talked about it in the previous news show episode.
What is your favorite non-ETG released add-on for Train Simulator?
I don't know. I really don't know. Seriously, I don't know what to pick. Because I don't really, you know, have a quote-unquote favorite add-on. It's usually just, can I use it, yes or no?
If you were AP, how would you make the Class 56 Enhancement pack?
Well, I'd have the Furtis livery just to start it off. You know, the livery they conveniently omitted from the original pack. And also add the slow speed controls, because that's what the 56 was first used for. Merry-go-round and slow speed control things. I'd be lying if I knew what else to do, because I don't really care about the 56. Or know that much about the 56. But at least I'm being honest.
What is your favorite livery for the HST?
Yeah, probably the original Grand Central livery. That's the one I like the most.
Do you like Formula 1? And if so, who is your favorite driver?
See my answer to motorsport. It's not that I hate it, it's just that I'm not really interested in it.
Who is your favorite rapper?
The one we weren't allowed to listen to when we were younger, Eminem!
Will you do a comparison between MSTS and TS add-ons? As in price, what variants and liveries you get as standard with the trains, and where you can drive to on the routes.
Annoyingly, I'm actually planning to do something similar to that. You'll find out if I do so in 2019.
What do you think of the London Underground routes on Train Sim?
Alright, fine, I'll be serious. Whilst I can appreciate the effort put into the only London Underground route that people care about, which is the Virtual District line. In terms of quality, it's like the creator was locked in a time capsule in 2009, then reopened about 9 years afterwards to release the add-on. I'm just talking overall quality, but, you know, London Underground, it's nice, I guess.
since you're going on vacation to Holland. So do you like Dutch trains? And what are your thoughts on Dutch content for RW Train Simulator?
Well, it's no surprise to anybody that I do enjoy riding on the trains in the Netherlands. I especially like how the ICM sound, because every time I go to the Netherlands, my mum would ask me for some cheese in Gouda, and this would give me a chance to ride on the ICM, and this would give me a chance to ride on the ICM train from Gouda all the way down to The Hague. And I'll just say this, if you are going to ride on an ICM in the Netherlands, ride it between those 2 points, because they normally run non-stop, and the motors sound so good when accelerating up to top speed, almost like a Class 319, just in a different pitch. I also have to give much appreciation towards the Lint 41. I rode on one from Zutphen to Oldenzaal, and I absolutely fell in love with the engine sounds, and plus it was nice and comfortable to ride on. Dutch content in Train Simulator though, it's alright. It's alright enough. There are some nice Dutch routes that people have made, and I have shown appreciation to the Grammendek Delta Land fictional routes. But in terms of routes, I don't typically use a lot of Dutch routes outside of that one I just mentioned. There's also only typically one developer, at least one developer making constant Dutch content, which is Mr. Chris Trains. And I did offer a bit of assistance with his Stadler GTW back in 2013, though being the slightly new person I was, I obviously recorded the flange sounds from a Class 455. No, I'm not kidding, but I did, and I want to humbly apologise to Mr. Chris and any person who utterly threw up listening to the flange sounds of the Stadler GTW. Oh, I might as well say that Mr. Chris is making the newest Dutch train for Train Sim, called the Sprinter SNG. Well, no, it's called the Sprinter New Generation, or the SNG. And that's a really stupid name for a train. And that's not Chris's fault, that's more the whoever came up with the name of the Sprinter New Generation. Because what are you going to call it in 20 years' time when it gets replaced?
What made you think of starting this TS News show?
Well, the biggest inspiration was Mr. Stuart K Reilly of his YouTube Poop News show. I used to watch his videos all the time, and throughout college I thought to myself, maybe I could make my own news show, a Train Sim news show, inspired by him, but had my own take on it. In the first few episodes, maybe the first 5-6 episodes, you could have easily said that I was just a wannabe rip-off, but now I've distanced myself to the point where you can work out that, hey, I have my own style. He's officially stopped his YouTube Poop News show in November of 2018. Mind you, that was after 10 years, but I won't deny that he was a very good inspiration to me. I won't be able to continue his YouTube Poop legacy, but at the same time, I'm appreciative of what he's provided to me entertainment-wise over the years. And you know, I kind of want to get in touch with him just so I can have a chat and say how much of a big inspiration he's been to me. I'll be kind enough to link his channel in the description if you don't know who he is. But yeah, Mr. Stuart K Reilly inspired me to make my videos as I do today.
Imagine this, DTG makes a 300+ mile route with decent quality, 3 brand new locomotives /DMUs/EMUs with great sounds and great controls. How would you feel?
A man can dream, eh? The kindest thing I could say is it would feel like an MSTS add-on, in the sense that it's much more usable from the get-go as opposed to having to sit around for 5 years waiting for DLC to fill in the gaps that were left out by not including them in, if you know what I mean. TLDR, I would smile. And that was going to be the last question. However, there was one question that has been popping up in my streams of recent. So I'm going to answer it here in the sense that hopefully nobody asks me this ever again.
Are you going to make a Discord?
Listen, I understand you kids in this day and age love your Discords, but it's not for me. I've tried the service, not really liking it. I've secretly conducted reconnaissance on other groups to observe what they're like, and if a community is small, it typically goes fine-ish. But if you've got more than 20 people, then it's basically gonna be like a meme fest. And you know what? I don't like memes. Well, except like the old golden age stuff. But modern day memes, with a few exceptions here or there, I can't stand them. And I know that if I made a Trains and News Show group, it will be filled to the brim with memes. I also get very annoyed by constant notifications, and one way to put it is, I would probably end up muting my own group. That's how much I'm against the idea. So please, stop asking. If you want to talk to me for whatever reason, I usually respond fairly quickly on Steam. And plus, there's a comment section anyway, so... there you go. Well, that covers the Q&A for today. As I said before, I hope you had a Merry Christmas, and I hope you enjoy the new year that is 2019. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you guys next time. Goodbye.